What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trell, and the President had his first State of the Union last night, in which he mainly focused on the war in Ukraine, as well as the inflation in the United States, the economy, and the future of COVID-19 pandemic. But he also highlighted a new plan or a shift from the previous Build Back Better plan that is pushing to get passed in Congress sometime this year. Now, this new plan would ultimately fight inflation as well as boost the economy back up to be stronger than before. But of course, right now, the biggest focus is keeping our eyes on the invasion and our friends over in Ukraine. In addition to that, guys, hey, we have a huge retailer that is planning on making $24 per hour minimum wage at their stores. Now, but overall, guys, hey, the Biden speech gave America hope and unity last night, and he let the Americans know that he has not forgotten about us and how his new plans will bring more jobs, more relief aid, and help those struggling middle and low income families during these economic times. But outside of all of that, guys, hey, on this channel, we typically cover everything from U.S. news, worldwide news, what's going on with the new stimulus relief package, the stock market, and how to put money back into your pockets. So if you're interested in any of those topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Well, guys, as the United States as well as NATO allies continue to come down hard on Russia, the top 22 billionaires in Russia have lost around $39 billion in just one day. And this is after the invasion of Ukraine, as well as the U.S. and their NATOs come down on their banks, as well as different things like that. But these particular people have now lost more than $40 billion, and they are calling on Russia to go ahead and end this war right now. Now, in addition to that, guys, hey, one governor in the United States is now proposing $1 billion in tax cuts. Yes, this particular governor said that it is part of governor's larger $45.4 billion budget proposal, and he's asking for tax cuts at the grocery stores, the gas pumps, and for property taxes. I mean, $1 billion is a lot of money, guys. Yes, the Illinois governor is enjoying its largest budget surplus in a quarter of a century. Governor J.B. Pritzker proposed $1 billion in tax cuts for the upcoming fiscal year. Now, during his annual State of the State and Budget address on February the 2nd, the governor unveiled a $45 billion budget proposal and taunted a 1.7 fiscal surplus. Now, he said that I am pleased to announce that Illinois will end this fiscal year with a $1.7 billion surplus, the first of its kind in more than 25 years. Now, he wants to return some of that money back to the taxpayers. And to do so, he's proposing the Illinois Family Relief Plan, which focuses on several short-term cuts and tax freezes directly impacting Illinois families. He said that three of the key proponents of his proposal, including, number one, eliminating a 1% sales tax on groceries for at least 1 year. Number two, offering a one-time 5% property tax rebate with a maximum rebate of $300 to roughly 2 million households. And then number three, freezing the state's annual gasoline tax, which is set to increase by 2 cents from 39.2 cents up to 41.4 cents per gallon this summer. So yes, guys, he is proposing this $1 billion worth of tax cuts for those residents that live in Illinois. So that is some very positive news right now. But we also have some good news because one of our favorite retail stores out there, which is Target, they are now adopting a minimum wage of as high as $24 an hour. On Monday, in a statement, the Minneapolis-based retailer said that the new minimum wage will range from $15 up to $24, depending on the job and the local market. Now, the system is also part of Target's plan to spend an additional $300 million on its labor force, which includes expanded access to healthcare coverage and an enhanced benefits package for their employees. Now, if we can just get all the other retailers to go ahead and increase their minimum wages with this same type of range between $15 and $24, everything in America will be all great once again. But anyways, guys, this is some great news to see. Also, guys, hey, last night, President Biden had his State of the Union. And even though President Biden's approval rating is near a record low right now, according to the polls, Hey, his new State of the Union, he talked about how he is vowing to check Russia's aggression on the Ukrainians right now, as well as his new plan that is going to be able to fight inflation in the United States. And here is just a little excerpt from his speech that he gave last night at the State of the Union. He said that, look, our economy has roared back faster than most people predicted after the COVID-19 pandemic. And the pandemic also disrupted our global supply chains in the process. When factories close, it takes longer to make goods as well as to get them from the warehouse to the store, which has caused prices to go extremely high. But he said, look at cars, guys. Last year, there wasn't enough semiconductors to make all of the cars that people wanted to buy. And guess what? Prices of automobiles actually went up. So we have a choice, people. We have a choice. One way to fight inflation is to drive down the wages and make Americans poor. But I have a better plan to fight inflation. He said, my plan is going to lower your costs, not your wages. He said, make more cars and semiconductors in America, more infrastructure and innovation in America. He said, more goods moving faster and cheaper in America, and more jobs where you can earn a good living in America. And instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America. Economists call it increasing the productive capacity of our economy. He said that I call it building a better America. And he said, look, my plan to fight inflation will lower your costs and lower the deficit. He said 17 global economists say that my plan will ease long-term inflationary pressures, as well as top business leaders and most Americans support my plan as well. But he said, look here, first off, we want to cut the cost of prescription drugs. Just look at the insulin in this country. Right now, it costs the manufacturers to make it around $10. But these drug companies are costing us $100 for the vials for insulin, which is just ridiculous, guys. So that is one thing that he wants to do, is lower the drug prices in this country, because drug companies charge families like Joshua, who was in the stands, they charge them too much money. Now, in addition to that, guys, he said, look, the American Rescue Plan is helping millions of families on Affordable Care Act plans save $2,400 a year on their health care premiums. And let's close the coverage gap and make those savings permanent to the American people. And he said, look, secondly, we need to cut energy costs for families an average of $500 a year by combating climate change. And let's provide investments and tax credits to weatherize your homes and businesses to be energy efficient. And you can also get a tax credit in the process. So again, guys, he also wants to initiate this clean energy production with solar, wind, and so much more, as well as lower the price of electric vehicles, as well as saving you another $80 a month, because you'll never have to pay at the gas pumps again. And then thirdly, he said he wants to cut the cost of childcare. Many families pay up to $14,000 a year for childcare per child. The middle class and working families shouldn't have to pay more than 7% of their income for the care of their young children. And he said that my plan will cut the cost in half for most families, as well as to help parents, including millions of women who left the workforce during the pandemic because they just couldn't afford childcare anymore. But he said that my plan doesn't stop there, guys. It also includes home and long-term care, more affordable housing, as well as pre-K for every 3 and 4-year-old child. And he said all of these will lower costs ultimately. And under my new plan, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in new taxes. So again, guys, hey, this is just some of the things that he talked about in the State of the Union last night, which he also talked about the invasion on the Ukraine right now from President Vladimir Putin of Russia. He is calling them out and saying that Russia is going to be punished for these particular actions. And we have seen over the past couple of days in which President Vladimir Putin has been getting frustrated on the progress that his military has been making upon Ukraine, trying to reach Kyiv and take over the capital. But as I stated earlier in the video, hey, the United States as well as the NATO allies have been coming down very hard on Russia right now. We can see right here that another company, which is the shale gas company, they are now exiting Russia after this particular invasion, and they are now joining the efforts in which BP gas company has already made. And then in addition to that, guys, hey, the Apple Store, which we particularly buy all of our iPhones and iPads from, Apple is now halting their sales in Russia as well. And then in addition to that, guys, hey, Canada has now shut down their ports to Russian ships. So a lot of these things are continuing to hurt and damage the Russian economy, which is causing those billionaires and President Putin to lose billions of dollars every single day. And because of all of that, guys, hey, Russia is now widely expected to escalate the violence in Ukraine. As Russia forces continue to get closer and closer to Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine, it is getting pretty intense in Ukraine right now. A lot of their soldiers as well as their civilians are getting very tired right now. And I assume that the Russian troops are also getting tired as well. This thing is going on now on the 7th day. Initially, President Putin thought that this would take like 3 to 4 days to be able to accomplish this and take over Kyiv. But we have seen the Ukrainians fight back tremendously because of their leader, President Zelensky, in which he is calling for continuing to fight for our country as well as our dignity as well as the Ukrainian people. And that has caused President Putin to be very frustrated because of this. He was not expecting the Ukrainians as well as the civilians to be able to fight off the Russian troops in this particular effort, which has happened over the past 7 days. And then we saw yesterday morning in Ukraine, which was on March the 1st, we saw that the Russians ended up sending a missile and hitting one of their TV towers, in which it killed 5 Ukrainians. But anyways, guys, hey, that's exactly what's going on right now in our country as well as all over the world. The United States as well as NATO allies as well as other people around the world continue to support the Ukrainians and their efforts, in which they have also donated millions of dollars to the Ukrainians in order for them to have enough money to be able to continue to fight off the Russian troops and to prevent them from taking over their capital in Kyiv. But again, guys, hey, I hope all of this information was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.